This conference will now be recorded.
So good morning everyone, welcome to today's session. So as we are taking the sessions on Excel formulas and VBA, so today is the second session on Excel, and today we will be covering the rest of the formulas and Excel techniques which were pending in the last part. So again, as I said earlier, this will be again a short session, not a long one. It will be around 40 to 50 minutes, or at max I will stretch it to a max to 1 hour. So let me share my screen and then we are good to start. Okay, so hope you all can see the screen. So today, for today's agenda, we have some of the Excel formulas and that we will be covering, some of the Excel techniques that will make our life easier to process the data in Excel. So let us go through one of them. So this is the data that I have used previously, the same data of contribution or the contribution made by the alumni of a institute. So the data that you can see, it's mainly the repository or the maintained data of the alumni of a particular institute. We have a gender, class of year, which class they pass out, marital status, major, in which major they passed out, if they pursued any next degree or not, and if they did, then what was the next degree, and the donation that they have provided in these years. So donation in the year 2004, 2003, 1, 2000, and did they attend the event of alumni meet? So attendance of the event, yes or no? So this is the data that we have. So, and we don't have much number of rows, so we have only 1230 rows of data. So this was all about the data. Let us start with some of the formulas that we will be covering today. So here I have listed out few of the formulas that I will be working on. So let us start one by one. So first is count. So for all the participants, just a general question. So you know what count does? So let's say if I do a count and I have given this. So it is returning me at 0. So now let me check what is the formula. So formula is entire column D. Entire column D is denoted and I am getting a value of 0. Now if I do the same thing for column F, let me see what I get. Formula is always equal to then the formula name and I put it F. Then here I am getting 1230. So here is the thing. What count does it? Count actually counts the all number of numeric cell. So the cell which contains numeric data, it counts that. So this thing that should be kept in mind. So count, first of all, only gives you the numeric. So let me write it down so it becomes easier for you to get. So it only gives the count of numerical value that I have. So here we have seen two of the examples that in case if I'm considering major, then it returns a 0. If in case I'm uh, providing a column which has a numeric value, then it is providing all the numeric counts. Second thing that you need to know that date is also considered to be a numeric. So in case if I have a date mentioned, it will count date as well. Okay, so this is one thing that you need to know. Now after this we have count A. So count A, so just that suffix that comes after count A, so that A stands for all. So return the count of all the things that we have. So if I do now a count A, and then I do it like this. I got the all, including the header. So header is also in text. So be it anything, be it text, be it numeric, be it date, be it anything, count A will give me the count of everything. So this is the only difference between count A and count. So this will give me count of everything. Now next we have count blank. Count blank, as the name suggests, it will count the number of blank that I have. So let me check how many blanks I have in all the mentioned columns. So if I do count of blank starting from A, so what it has done is it has gone down to the end of the Excel sheet till here and counted the blanks. So after this point, we don't need if there is a blank or not. We are only concerned till row number 1231. So let me restrict it to there itself, not to the entire column. So what I will do here is select Control Shift and down. Control Shift down. I have selected my range and that's all I need. So I don't have any blank. So good. Now if I drag it towards the right, I'll get the same data for all the subsequent columns. So if you see, this is denoting for column A, this is for column B, C, D, E, F, and so on. So subsequently, I'm getting all the columns. So it's all zero here. So let me do one thing. Let me delete this, and I got one. So let me delete two of this or three of this. I got. So now let me delete entire this. I got all the blanks that are there, 1230. So now, so this is how this count blank does. A good way to see if there is any blank or if there is any missing data, good way to understand that. So this was about count blank. So it counts all the blank in the data or the given range. Now countif. So I hope most of you are accustomed with SQL. So countif is again something which has a similar origin from SQL. Let me explain you a bit of context of this. So if you all remember what we do for a select star, select count star from data. So this will give us all the data, all the count of in that particular data. Now countif comes with a certain condition that if this condition satisfies, then only I should get a count, otherwise not. So whenever a condition comes in a query, so we write it using a where condition. Okay, generally where it could be for a join, it could be on for a joining condition. It could be having when a group by condition is there. So generally, if we ignore these things, having and join, then we are left with where. So just to understand you simply, so where condition could be one of them. Now you have seen that in the data we have a column called gender. So let us do a countif of gender, where gender equal to male. So this is the query that I have written. Now I want to do it using Excel. So the most easiest way is countif. Count. So countif is, so this is my entire range fine. And within this range, my criteria is that marital status should be M. So how many M's are there? 711. So this is same as this. So the condition that I have written for the SQL query, count star from data where gender equal to M. So this will give me a count. So I've used this example because most of you are accustomed with SQL, and it will be easier for you if I give an example or an analogy from uh, SQL. So this is how we have got it. So if we try to cross check, so all the M's we have. So here if I filter out, so we have some 711 records. That is what we are supposed to be getting, and yeah, this is what we have. Similarly, if I want to make it dynamic, a bit dynamic, not like this. So let's say how much I have. I have levels like divorced, married, single, widow. So DMSW, DSMW. Now these are the levels I have. Now I want to make it a bit dynamic. Count if, so range will be same, marital status, and criteria will be this. So here I got all for divorced and similarly for all other levels. So I have for single, for married, for single, for married, for guys, please go on mute. Well, thanks. Thanks. So yeah, this is what I was saying. So yeah, I generally request you everyone to please go on mute in case if you're not speaking. It will avoid any background noise, and at the same time, I get to hear my own voice as a feedback if you unmute yourself. Unless and until there is no question from you, please keep yourself mute. So yeah, this was one of the example of count star. So if I give a equivalent SQL query, this would be something like this. Select gender, then count star from data. So here we don't have any group by statement because ideally we are doing it on all the subsequent groups, so one by one. And sorry, where condition. I'm sorry, it is where we don't have any where condition because subsequently we are doing in each of the levels, and then group by gender. So this is what this data stands for, an SQL equivalent of what I have just done. I hope this is clear. So let me move on to countifs. Now what happened is here I have selected just a simple query, a simple one where I have only one condition, that gender equal to M. Now whatever if I have lot many conditions associated with the same. So this was countif. If I consider count ifs, then it will be a and including some other. Let's say gender and then gender equal to M and marital status. So this is one of the way I can do. I have put two condition where marital status equal to again M. So here I have given two conditions. So let us see how it will work. So marital status. So here I have all the marital status. So let me put include gender as well. So gender is male, gender is female. So now let me change this and put countif. Countifs. Countif we have already done. Countifs. So criteria range is my marital status and criteria is this. In the second case, I have criteria range of gender and my criteria is this. So let me drag this way also. Okay, I think I have missed out something. Oh, need to fix it. Need to fix it. So, so I have fixed my C column. Similarly, I need to fix my A column also. A column is also fixed. Now for O, I need to be along the O. So only O need to be fixed. I need to be flexible on my row. So O needs to be fixed and flexible on rows. And here for P, I need to be flexible on column. So flexible on column and fixed on rows. This should work now. Again, missed out something, missed out something. Okay, this is fine. Oh, okay. So here is this. So this will be O and O needs to be fixed. O needs to be fixed and 12, yeah. Let's see, yeah, it is working fine. And what is the issue here? I have fixed it, this part. So it shouldn't be this, it should be a bit different. So O needs to be fixed. And yes. So yeah, now I have got it, and here is the sum 1230, and this was the sum of entire column. So yeah, so this is how you need to be careful with all the formulas when you're working with. So need to fix the right range, need to pick the right range and uh, edit the formula accordingly. So this is one good example how you can use COUNTIF and how it could be applicable in all the works that you will be doing. In case you're not working with pivot table, or in case pivot table is not something which we are asked to do, we need to do it using a count statement only, countif statement, countif formula. Then this is a good alternative that we can work with. So this was about countif and countifs. Similarly, we have something like SUMIF and SUMIFs also. SUMIF and SUMIFs. So both are same as COUNTIF count. Only difference being here, instead of this count star, it will become sum star. Sum star or sum of some of the or the variable that we are looking for, specifically the variable that we need to work with or for which we need the sum. So let me do one thing. Let me take the sum for gender wise, male, and I have female, and I need the sum for year of 2004. So all the donation that I have got in the year 2004, for that I need all the sum gender wise. So here I have only one condition, so I will use sum if, not ifs. So sum if. So here is my range. So range is this gender. Now what is my criteria? Criteria that it should be equal to male and sum range. So where I should be taking the sum. So this is my sum range. Got this? Yeah. So let's see how the formula looks like. I'm picking the right factor to and right criteria and right sum range. Here it's fine and here also it's fine. So just to reflect this, where the formula is pointing to, I have pressed F2, and if I check the sum of both of them, so it is 19606 6061. So it should be 19606. Yeah. So this is one example of sum if. Sum ifs also works in a similar way. So it will be just the repetition of the same process that I have done here. Uh, okay. So let me work with some other formulas also we have, and let us try to work with it. I hope there is no issue with whatever I have explained so far. So now we have days. So days mainly gives the number of days between two particular dates. And dates I have already mentioned that date is considered to be numeric in Excel. It is then converted into a particular format that we want to see. So we have days. So days, if you can see the formula, returns the days. Sorry, this yeah, returns the number of days between two dates. So first, I need to point out my end date and the start date. So it will be like end date, because end date will be always greater in magnitude compared to the start date. So that is why end date first and then start date. Okay. In SAS, if I remember it correctly, it was INTCK or some INTCX, something like that. It was the formula in SAS. So anyway, so if I write the end date, let me put it in numeric format only. Let me do it 300. Let us see what I get. So I'm getting 12 days. So it has picked up date as this. Now, if I want to change it in a proper date format, and let's see what I get. Well, it has not picked. So unable to recognize the format, and that could be the major reason why it hasn't done. Let me put it this way. This is the date. So minus. So as the end date is before the start date, it has given me minus. Otherwise, if I change the order, it will give me plus. Similar thing we have for net working days, something called net working days. So net work days, it will give me something like this, similar. Only only difference being it will omit the Saturday Sundays. Usually, this net working days varies from country to country. So, for some country we have a different standard, or some countries we have different, a set of calendar thing that they will be following. So it varies from country to country. But if there is a requirement or a close estimation, we can work with this. Another good formula that we have is trim. Trim actually it leaves out the spaces all from the text except the single spaces between words. Apart from that, all the white spaces and leading and trailing blank all are removed. Only the spaces which are necessary and required, those will be only picked. Trim has also a very good thing that you can concatenate using that. So let's say if I want to create a key of all the words put together, then trim is again a very good function to be used. So if I do it like this, now I got count, count A, count blank. So it has put them all together. So trim first utility is to uh, put out all the leading and trailing blanks and all the white spaces. Apart from that, it can be also be used for concatenate purpose, as I have showed you. For concatenate, we have a different function also, which is a straight away concatenate. So using this, what I can do, concatenate and then first text and what it should be followed by, how much space do I need to provide. So this is the mainly the delimiter or the separator that I can say, and after that what it has to follow, then again followed by this and this and done. So now I have a blank in between. Instead of blank, I can use any other character, special character, or anything which is there with me. So good way to work with concatenate. Now we have something as date value. So mainly what it does, it take any date from the text value and converts it into a numeric one. So let's say, so I have to put it in quotes this time. Remember. So it has given me the numeric equivalent of that. Right? So let me point it out here. Use the numeric equivalent of the Excel date. Fine. Now we have match. So match is again a very good function that can be used, or that we can work with. So how does match works? Let us see. So match only provides us the index or the position where it is located. So if I'm deleting this just to clear space, so let us work with match. Equal to match. So match I have, what is the value that I am looking for? Lookup value. So let's say within this entire range of D, I have many subjects with me. I have history, physics, music. So let me start with history. I'm looking for history. And now what is my lookup array? So this is the entire range that I am looking for in the entire column D. And match type, so this is not necessary. Basically, it takes the exact match, but I want, if I mention it specifically, then it will be good. So here it provides the index. So starting from the top, history comes in the second number. Now if I drag it, you will get to know a lot more things about it. So see here, what is actually happening. So first of all, in this list, it is picking up history and providing the index of that. Okay. Now, if I go here, now it is providing the index of physics. So in the entire list, physics comes third. Similarly, here music comes fourth. But again, if I go back to the same to the next row, fifth, it is returning me 2. The value I am getting is 2. The reason being, the first index that I am getting, it will return that. So the first time history comes, it is in the second number index. So it is returning me same thing. The location of history when it came first. Same thing you can observe here as well. So 6, 7, then again 2 because 2 is for history. Again same thing, and mathematics comes here first, and then again it is so we are getting 11 both the times. So this is how match works. Match returns you the index. So now we got the index, we need the value of that index. So what is there as a value in that index? So for that we have a function called index. So index actually returns you the value. So how to go about it? So this is my array, first array. Then row number, which I will be looking for, or the, so here I have all the row numbers. So among this, if I pick the 10th, this, and column number. So column number is itself one. So Spanish that I have got. Now same thing. If I need to make it dynamic, what I can do is instead of this, I can mention it like this. So it is now returning me the value. So here with match, I'm getting the index number. Here I'm getting the value. So this is also one of the way to work with this, work with index and matching. Uh, but we have again a direct method to do this work, that is Vlookup. So Vlookup also does the same thing, but in a direct manner. So match I've provided, match actually returns the position, and index from the position it provides the value. Vlookup provides you the value using a lookup thing. So let's see how VLOOKUP works. Okay, so here we don't have a unique key. Let me create one table to explain you better how VLOOKUP works. So let's say I have this ID. So ID starts from 1. And now, so let me randomize something. Let me on a just a random basis. Let me create some numbers here. So rand between anything between 1 and 100. So let me drag it down and extend it to the rightmost part. Now here I want to replicate the part for gender. So gender I want it again. So what I can do, I can use Vlookup for that. And let me show you how Vlookup works. So, but before that, just one more thing. Among all the IDs, I don't want all of them. I want only specific of them. So let's say I have ID, and within this ID, I have 2, 3, 6, 5, then 6, then 8, then 11, then 14. So these are all the IDs that I want and their gender. So gender here doesn't make sense because this is a numeric. I have just, for the sake of understanding, I have mentioned the column. But yeah, name of the column is not relevant. The idea is to get the data. So let me see how I can get. So VLOOKUP is one of very good formula. So for VLOOKUP, it is important that few things you need to know. VLOOKUP, I need my lookup value. So lookup value is this. So for example, if you remember, while joining two tables in SQL, we need a unique key on basis of which you will be joining. The same thing works here as well. The lookup value is a unique key using which you will be joining it with the other table or from where you will be fetching the data. So this is my lookup value. So after that, this is my table where I need to consider, and let me fix this table. I don't want it to vary with the varying cell. So let me fix it. So I fixed it now. And there I have the column index number. So starting from the first column, gender comes second. So here the column index must be second. And do I need a, sorry, this will be second. And do I need a exact match or approximate match? I need an exact match. So 0. So for 2, I have got 53. I got 53 here. Similarly, for 3, I have 67. I got 67. 48. 57 I got. For 8, I got 7. For 11, I got 33. For 14, I got 48. So yeah. So mainly how to work with join and how to uh, use it. This is how VLOOKUP is all about. So this was all about fetching only one column. What if we need to fetch all the columns at the same time? So it becomes a bit difficult, right? So in that case, what I can do, we have another method for this. I've put it like this. Let me do one thing. Let me use a match function. So that will work better. Match will return me the index. So so this is my range, and let me fix it. It is fixed. Sorry, this was the lookup value. Sorry, this is the lookup value. Lookup array needs lookup value needs to be fixed. This is fixed now, and match type is exact match. So this comes first. Let me change it. This is not making much sense. This is not making much sense. So match lookup value, let me start from here, because in VLOOKUP, as you know, it starts from 1. So let me start from 1. Lookup value, lookup array is my, this entire thing, need to fix it, and then I have equal to 0. So I'm getting all the indexes, right? Then or one thing I can do to make it dynamic, I can change this range. So lookup range, I can change it and put it like this. So it has reflected now. So for all the columns, I'm getting the index. Now I need to get all the values using VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP, lookup value is this. Table, no, it will be this. Need to fix it again. And here also I need to fix my range. So column will be O, but rows can vary. So O needs to be fixed. O is fixed now. This entire range is also fixed. Now my column index, this also keeps on varying. So here is my class. So it starts from here, 3. Now here also I need to be fixed along my rows. Columns can vary, but need to be fixed along my row. Column is varying, but I am fixed along my row 14, so that will help. Then 0. So let me populate it. So again, this needs to be populated further. I've got. So yeah, this is how it works. If I need to extend it for all, this is one of the simple method that I can use and populate all of them here. So let's say if I don't need any of the particular column, I can omit it out and I will still get all my values. So let's say if I omit this, my values are still same, because these values are same and these are dependent upon my column and these are not changing. And so as long as my column names are fixed, my index numbers will be fixed that I'm getting from match, and my cell values will be fixed. So this is one of a good way that you can use to fetch all the data using VLOOKUP. So hope it made sense to all of you. Now moving on to HLOOKUP. Let me. So HLOOKUP, I will give you just a basic example. HLOOKUP is not widely used, but for a basic understanding, I will tell you that how it works. Let me delete this, or let me delete the data. Okay. So HLOOKUP, so V in VLOOKUP stands for vertical, HLOOKUP stands for horizontal. Only the style or the convention changes, but it is the same thing. HLOOKUP is similar to VLOOKUP, only the orientation changes. Condition should be in the first thing. Like example, the condition here was the first thing. Same thing with VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP also. So let's see what is the formula of HLOOKUP and how it works. And I personally don't use HLOOKUP much more. I rarely use it. So lookup value. So lookup value here will be from this. My column will be first. Okay. Lookup array. This needs to be fixed. And row index number. Now here it has asked for the row number. So I have made this unique key, the row number, or this ID itself represent that. But actually it is one less. So row number is 2. It is pointing. It is 1. So I have to give it manually. So let's say for ID number 11, I need gender. So I need this 33. So for that, I need to put 12, row index 12. So 12 and then 0. Well, let's see what I get. It has given me that you can't get anything, and let's see why. Let's look up P1. Let me see what happened, what just happened. Yeah.
This conference will now be recorded.
So in the array table, I also need to include my columns. Otherwise, it won't take that. So yeah. Now 12 number. Now 0. Now take this. Now I got my 33. Okay. So yeah, this is how it works. Similarly, I can make this dynamic, this part of the formula, that is my row indexing, row index number. I can make this dynamic depending upon using other formulas also. So like we did for match, right, this can be done. So this was one. So hope it made sense. Actually, I missed out to include the column, and that is the reason that it was not happening. Please when it
Unmuted.
happening. Okay, fine. So I have done the let's look up. This is done. So few more things. We are left with some more minutes to let me discuss few more easy and basic things on Excel, and then we can close the session for today. Hmm. Now, if we see here, we have something called conditional formatting. So conditional formatting is also a very good thing, a very good tool to be used for specific formats if we need. For example, if we are creating a data and we need to point out that a certain range should have a certain value or a certain range should be reflected in a certain way, then that is one of the best way to do that. So let me change the naming convention. It doesn't look very good. Let me start with this something like student 1, and then let me drag it. Oh no, it did not happen. Student 1, 2, 3. It should have happened. Okay. So student 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until 11. So these are the students and their marks for let's say these are the subjects they have. 19 subjects are too much, but still, just for the sake of understanding, let's say that they are appearing for 19 subjects and these are their marks. So now within this, let us do some conditional formatting and let us try to understand that how we can use this. Conditional formatting, highlight the cell rules. So for specific values, let's say if someone has uh, got more than very high value, so it is asking me to put the range. So here if I put the range, so this is my range that I need, and within this range fill with that I cannot be used conditional form. Okay. greater than, less than, top. Okay, so let me do it one by one. Let's say, so this is the range that I have, and within this range I need a conditional formatting. So greater than anything which is greater than 90. So my 90s, so this will be reflected like this. Okay, with red. So now scoring good marks is always better. So let me reflect it with green. So within this range, what value that I need, how much it should be greater with, and what is the color that I need. So one way to look at this is, so now if I want to do it on my entire data, let's see what I can do. Greater than, let's say here also 90, and then with all the green. So reflect all the 90s with green. This will help me to understand that who are the top scorers, who are scoring good. So good way to understand this. So this is one good method how I can use conditional formatting. So this was one option. Highlight cell rules. I can have greater than, I can have less than. So let's say somebody scoring pretty low. It is not scoring up even a passing mark. Let me mark them down, and so these are the people, or these are the numbers that I'm getting, which I should be worried about because they are scoring quite low. We got less than, we got between. Between is also one that can be used. Equal to. So equal to, let's say someone, if someone is getting a perfect score, then green. So we have people who are getting perfect score also. Now again top 10 or top 10% I can get. Top 10, so 100 will be always there. So top 10 will be reflected with dark. No, I want green because they are good scorers. So here I have reflected them all. Good. So do I need bottom 10? Yeah, I need bottom 10 because they're not scoring good. And I got them marked. So again, one good technique. So these are many ways. So highlighting cell is one, top bottom is one, chart is one, and this icon cell. So here also what you can do is you can put like this. So someone with a very good score will be marked with green symbol. Then someone will with the average score will be marked with this yellow, and then someone with very low will be marked with this red down arrow. So in similar way, I can choose like this. So most of you who have worked on Tableau, you must have seen these kind of visualization. When a score is going up, it is marked with this particular symbol. If it is not, then it is marked with another symbol, and so on. So here we have so many ways to look at it. We have shapes also for the same purpose we can use. So pretty good rating also on the scale. Uh, that how we need to. So here we have only three ratings, and here we have a bandwidth signal that how much bandwidth I'm getting. Something that you must be familiar with your mobile. And this is a pie chart, and so on. And we can create more rules. So one thing that I need to mention here, that we can create a custom rule as well if we want only a specific thing to happen. So let's say I want to create a particular rule. So format all cells based on their values. I can do that. I can create a gradient from lowest to maximum value, and this could be a particular gradient that I can go. I can use many other gradients also. This could be another gradient. So maximum, minimum, or actually for minimum it is light on the uh, darker green part, and maximum it is highest marks it is on lighter blue. So we can change that as well. Let's say uh, I need to do this as, and the highest part will be this. Yeah, I got it. So let's see how it works. So see, so kind of a heat map that I have got for all the numbers that I'm getting. Uh, so green is all obviously my higher score, yellow one are lesser one. So good way. So as I was discussing in new rules, so this was for the entire data, entire range. I can put it like this also: format only cells that contains. So if it contains a particular value, then I can do it. So cell value between. So I have between, not between, equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, and so on. So if I do it like equal to, and within this range, so what should be it equal to? So let's say if it is equal to 100, someone getting a perfect score, I'm very happy with that, and I need to mark it down. Then I need a quite darker green color, and I'm doing this. So in this way I can create my own custom way of working with the formatting, and I can create other rules. So manage rules with the all the existing rules that I have. On basis of that, I can edit them, I can work with them, and so on. So this was a bit on conditional formatting. It is used widely, and uh, quite high utility we have for conditional formatting. So last thing for today is a bit on pivot table. I will cover, and then we are good to close. So for pivot table, what I can do, I can go to insert and then press pivot table, uh, and selecting any cell on the pivot table. So this is one way I can do that. Another shortcut is if I press Alt N and then V, it will give me the option that uh, this is the range that you want to select, and then OK, it will create a pivot table in the new sheet. So this is one way. Another way is Alt D P P. So let me mark it here. So for creating pivot table, I have Alt, then N, then V. So this is one way. Other way is Alt D, then P, then P. This is also another way to create pivot table using these shortcuts. Fine. So here I have created one pivot table, and let's say the exercise that we did, we need to do it again. So along the columns I have gender, along the rows I have marital status, and I need to know what is the sum of value that has been generated, or the revenue, the contribution that has been generated for this. So I have got sum. So sum of all the values that. So if you remember, we got the same count while getting the count of year 2004. So in case I can change the values here using this. So here there is an option. Left click on. So left click on this. If I do a left click on this and select the value that I need, value field settings, and here I have some count, average, maximum, minimum, so on. So let's say if I go with maximum. So for a particular category, so for female, and if it is divorced, then the maximum that I'm getting, maximum contribution on that year is 2500. Same thing. So Same thing if I go with here married, and if it is a female, then she's making a maximum contribution a bit more than the previous one, 5,000, and single is 2,600. For widow it is 2,000, and so on. So this is one way to look at it, and very easy way, because if I create a pivot table and then I start working on it, it becomes very easy to for me to get all the data at one go. I just need to vary few of the fields, and I have the summary at one go. So very powerful technique, a very powerful tool in Excel. Max I have, min I have, then product count, standard deviation, variance, and so on. So these all we have. So here I can change all the parameters. So now if I need to put a filter, let's say next degree, I have put a filter. So not for all next degree, I particularly say if someone is doing a next degree of BA, then I only need the statistics. So this is what I get. So people who are from this particular next degree category, that is if they are pursuing BA later on, so how many of them have attended? So they were either male or female, and among the marital status, it was either married or single. No other marital status for BA. So again, very powerful thing. Just need to filter out things, and I have the data at one go. So yeah, next degree doesn't make much of a sense. I need to omit this, and I need to consider some other filter. So let me do one thing. Let me remove this field, next degree, and let me work with class year. This makes much sense because I know I have alumni for different decades, and they will behave differently. So let me say the oldest alumni that we have, how much contribution they make and how much I get from them. So this is the statistics for alumni who are quite older, only from them. Now if I move on to bit recent one, then I have another set of statistics from these people. Similarly, if I move to most recent one, that is for 97. So you see, the recent pass out members haven't donated much because they don't earn more, probably. But people who are on the verge of the retirement or have retired already, might be possible that they have earned a lot, and that is why they have a lot to donate. So that could be the reason that people from 1957 are donating more. Anyway, what could be the reason? This is just a speculation from my side. So yeah, this is one way to look at it. So this was all from me, from my side for today. So if you have any questions, we can discuss. Otherwise, we are good to close today's session. So I hope there is no question. So fine then. It was nice having all of you in the session today. Thanks for joining in, and hope you enjoyed the session. Thanks everyone. For next session, let me remind you, I will take it on this coming Saturday. It won't be on Sunday, it will be on Saturday. So I request you to be available accordingly, make your adjustment accordingly, and that will be the last session probably. On that day, I will be taking this Excel VBA exactly. So a bit on VBA that I will be discussing, and then after that we are done with the Excel series. So thanks everyone for joining in. Hope you enjoyed the session. Bye.